Hi everyone and welcome to my living room. Ignore the washing over there, it has just done nothing but rain for the last 2 days, though it's sunny at the minute, so I've got to dry all my washing inside unfortunately. Oh, cup of tea. Now, I had a request to show you my tattoos and their meanings. I'll put the person's name around about here somewhere. To show you who requested it. Thank you for the request, first of all. Okay, so I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11 sort of separate ones, but then I've also got my half sleeve. I can't even count that anymore. I don't know how many elements are in it. It's just one big one. So, tattoos and their meanings. If you want to find out what my tattoos all mean and see what I've got, then keep watching. Okay, first of all, I've got some stars. Can't show them. There you go. First of all, I've got these stars on my wrist, and they represent relatives of mine that have passed away. The big one represents my maternal grandmother, no, my paternal grandmother. The two little ones represent my maternal grandmother and grandfather, and then this one represents a stillborn baby. Not mine, but I'm not going to go into details of that because it's not my story to share. It's not mine, but anyway, they're on my wrist, just a permanent reminder that they're now stars twinkling in heaven and that I miss them every day. On this one, this is the first tattoo I ever got, and it's my daughter's name, Rebecca, and then I've got a heart which I added to that recently. Just to remind me to love myself and value myself, and obviously that I love my daughter as well. I've had a hard time in the past, and the heart for me represents to, you know, be strong and keep going. Then I'll go into my sleeve. The first tattoo I had, I'll include photos of these, by the way. First tattoo I've got, which I had, was this one. It's one I designed myself, and it represents my family. So that's me and my husband, and that's our 2 daughters, and that represents, the tree represents home, and like the roots, like, you know, family roots and stuff, and basically we will always be there waiting at home if ever our 2 daughters need us once they fly away. My daughter still lives with me, but my stepdaughter has flown away and created her own life, so this just represents that no matter what they do and where they go, we will always be there for them, and we'll always be there at home for them if ever they need us. My owl represents wisdom, plus I love owls anyway. But I wanted some tattoos that represent love, strength, wisdom and hope. I originally was just going to get the words across my shoulders, but for work it's going to be a bit awkward. Whereas my arms are always covered up for work. So I decided to get separate symbols for that instead. So the owl is my one for wisdom, which is basically love, strength, wisdom and hope is love because you need love in your life. Hope because you should always have hope. No matter how bad it is, always have hope that one day it will be better. Wisdom, which is the wisdom to change things that are needed. And strength is the strength to change what's needed to make your life happier. That's the meaning behind love, strength, wisdom and hope. So that's my wisdom. And then I've got, let me see, I've got my mandala flower here, and I've got another mandala flower there. Mandala flowers are used in meditation in Buddhism, I believe, and it's used to sort of focus the mind and centre the mind, and it's also used by people as like a relaxation technique. And obviously for me, something that you draw to relax just fits me 100%, like, you know, using drawing to meditate, because that's what I spend my life doing, is drawing. And for me, having some, when I found out that you could use mandala flowers to meditate, I was like, oh my god, yes, I have to do that. And these just represent like me, and like focusing my mind, centering my mind, concentrating on what is actually important and forgetting the little things, because sometimes you can get bogged down with the little things and they can make you feel really bad, but then at the end of the day they're not important. So that's what these represent. This is like I drew, which one did I draw? Let me have a look. That one I googled, and I found that off Google, and that's the one I drew. And then, but I drew the shapes, and then the tattoo artist obviously neatened it up and added the shading and did all dot work stuff and everything. That one's one I got off the internet. The shapes of it, that is. We tweaked it a little bit, and then my tattoo artist shaded it where he felt it needed, and I added the dots on each petal, just because I like dots. When I do drawing like mandala flowers and stuff, I always put dots on. So they represent sort of me centering my mind, and a way for me to stay calm, and a way for me to just take care of myself and my mind. So that's those. Then I've got these like swirly things, which were I designed those, and they were inspired by Mendy tattoos and stuff. I just really liked some of the patterns that I saw, so I used a pattern that I liked, and I got the tattoo artist to add one there and one there. Basically they were to fill this last two spaces I got on this section, to be honest, but I think they're beautiful. I really love the patterns and stuff that you get in Mendy tattoos and Mendy art, so I wanted something to sort of represent that. Then I've got here, if you can see these 4 little white circles, that's the constellation of Aries, which is my daughter's star sign, because I wanted my daughter's star sign in my tattoo somewhere. Then these little swirly dot shading bits, that was just something I designed as a filler to go with the tattoo, because I had lots of spaces and gaps. I haven't got anything else there, but anything by the armpit is agony, so whether I actually fill that space or not, I probably won't, unless I get desperately put off by the gap, but I doubt it, because I don't see it, so I don't think I'll get that gap filled, because that hurt like a mother. That was all purple and blue after he'd finished. It was horrible. Every needle stroke was like, so yeah, anything by the armpit hurts. So yeah, I got these like swirly dot shading bits added in the middle, just because I like them, and I think they look nice. And again, we added dots to the mandala flowers as well, because I like dots. I want to get a quote there, if it'll fit. If not, I don't know where I'll fit it. I'll find somewhere else, because I really love the Rosa Parks quote, which is you must never be fearful if what you are doing is right. And that quote has spoken to me and meant so much to me in recent years that I have to have that quote somewhere on my body. So I'm hoping it will fit there, across my like just above my elbow crease. But I haven't like asked or booked that yet or anything, so I don't know. Then I've got a space here and there, and I'm having, to represent the strength part of my love, strength, wisdom and hope, I'm having an acorn and oak leaves. The design's already with the tattoo artist. He's just waiting for me to have the money to have it done, which unfortunately I haven't got yet, but so I'm on a bit of a tattoo break, but I will have my acorn and my oak leaves to fill that gap there. I want something there as well. I might have another mandala flower because I love them, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know what I'm going to get there. So that's my sleeve, which is basically like, there's my daughter in there, there's things that mean about like meditating and relaxing, wisdom. I don't know, I just feel that those things together gives me strength, and I like having them as like a sleeve. It's like a sort of, I don't know, it's almost like a protection sleeve. Like, it's like, you know, I can look at this sleeve and I think, yeah, I can do it, I can keep going and stuff. And then that's, I love that one, because that represents my little family. Oh, I could cry doing that. Right, anyway, then I've got my big tattoo across my back, which I don't know if you'll see much of it, but I can include a photo. Should have worn a different top. I've got, I don't know if you can see that, but I'll include a photograph. And what it is, it's a dandelion clock with the seeds blowing off, and then as the seeds blow off, they're turning into birds and flying away. And it goes all the way around my back, and it ends there with my favourite bird. Basically, these are all like flying away, and then this bird looks like it's about to land. And it goes all the way around my back, all across the top of my back, and I absolutely love it. It's the first big tattoo I ever had done. It was one of my earlier ones as well. I had it done before I had the sleeve done or anything. And that represents basically life and death. You've got the dandelion clock, which is like new life, and the seeds, because obviously that's how new flowers and new dandelions, I know they're weeds, but still, it's how new life starts. There's a little seed, and the seeds are all flying off and growing and changing, and then they turn into birds, because at the end of your life, like, your soul flies away and is gone. So basically it's life and death. And then the bit where it lands, I just wanted a bird to look like it's landing to finish off the tattoo, and you could basically say that, like, that's the end, like, that's, like, you know, when you finally land, that's where, like, when your soul finally lands, it's gone, sort of thing. But yeah, basically you've got the seeds, which is new life, then you've got the journey through life, which is the birds flying, and then the bird landing at the end, and like the big birds are like your soul flying away at the end when you die. Yeah, cheerful tattoo, that. But yeah, that's what that represents. It's just, and like, I love birds anyway, so like, it represents nature and birds, and also freedom, because birds just seem very free, and I like watching birds fly. Like, if I'm sitting in my garden relaxing, I'll watch the birds fly by, and I watch them soar, and, you know, it's just, they seem very free, birds, and I love them, and I like watching them. I have to watch them at a distance because I'm allergic to them, but I love birds. I'd probably have, like, if I wasn't allergic to feathers, I'd probably have like a bird of some description, although, would I? I don't know. It's not nice to have them in a cage either, is it? I like them flying. Anyway, I like watching them. So birds have got a strong meaning to me as well. Then on, let's see which one I can do. On my foot, it says Dum Spiro Spero, which is, let me think, while I breathe I hope. So I've got two Latin quotes on my feet and I had to think which one it was. But yeah, there's Dum Spiro Spero, which is while I breathe I hope, which is something my nan always said, while there's life there's hope, before she died. And she was, you know, she was a firm believer in that while there's life there's hope, and I needed something to do with that on me. So it's faded, but it's not. When I put skin cream on, it's fine. And it says ad astra per aspera, which is Latin for to the stars through difficulties. That's a quote that both me and my husband have got, and it just means that, like, regardless of what difficulties we'll go through, we'll make it together. And also, I love stuff about space and stuff, and that is the quote that's on the memorial for Apollo something, the one that blew up on the launch pad years ago. So there's that as well. But for me and my husband, it's got a special meaning. It just means that no matter what we've been through, we'll get through it together and we'll make it to the stars. Then what else have I got? I think it's this one. Yeah, I've got a heart there, which is the first out of the 2 hearts I had, which just reminds me to love myself and take care of myself, which sometimes I find hard to do, and by having that there, it just helps remind me and makes me focus on that a bit more. Then I've got the theme of love, strength, wisdom and hope, like I explained, and there is my rose. Like I said, I'll include photos of these, and that for me represents love. Red rose, single red rose, that's love, isn't it? And I love that tattoo. And I wanted a red rose, I wanted it in colour, so I didn't want it here because this sleeve is black and white, or black and grey, and I've got colour tattoos on my legs, so I had my rose there, and that was the most painful tattoo I've ever had. That one I nearly fainted when he was going, it was either towards the front of my shin or towards the back of my calf. Every line hurt and I actually went dizzy and I had to stop for a bit. I've never had that with any of my other tattoos, so that must have been like a really sensitive area. So that's the bottom of my right leg. Then on my left leg, on my ankle, I've got the moon and the constellation of Orion. The reason I've got the moon is because I love stargazing, and I've got my telescope, and I've always had a fascination with the moon. I just think the moon is beautiful and could probably sit there for hours on a warm night watching it. Not very good at stargazing in the cold weather. I tend to be a summer stargazer when it's warm, but I love looking at the moon, and if I catch pictures of the moon and stuff, I'm just fascinated and just look at them. I'll probably include a picture I took of the moon through my telescope actually, just to show you, and I just think it's beautiful, and I like to start to learn where some of the things are. So like when you get the moon and you've got that really bright star above it, that's Venus. And the constellation of Orion is the first constellation I ever learnt to recognise, and I learnt it when I was younger. I was about, what? I was probably about 13, and I learnt Orion, and I could always straight away find that in the sky, and I was fascinated with learning the names of the constellations and stuff. I can't remember many of them. I've got like Cassiopeia, Orion, the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and there's one more that like I'll recognise by sight. I can just look in the sky and go, oh, there it is. But I'm trying to learn. I've got my star chart thing and everything, and I'm practising. I find that fascinating. But what I find more fascinating than others is when you realise that what you thought was a star shining in the sky is actually a planet. So like the star that's always above the moon really bright is actually Venus. I just thought that's amazing, that's like another world. And for years I've just thought that was just some random star, which I know is like a sun in another galaxy, like, but to realise that was a planet. And also when I first had my telescope, that was the first ever planet that I found, because I thought, oh, it's just a star, pointing my telescope towards it, and I could see the shape, like the roundness of it, and I was like, oh my god, it's a planet I've found. So yeah, I love stargazing and stuff. So I've got the moon because I love the moon, and I've got Orion because it's the first constellation I ever learnt to recognise. Then on my right thigh, I've got my butterfly with like some swirly bits. I'll have to include a photo because I'm wearing my PJs and I'm not about to flash my leg on camera. I like butterflies. If I see butterflies in my garden, I'm always really pleased. It's a sign of a healthy garden. It's also, you know, beauty in nature. And there's a quote I like, which is, if things never change, there'd be no butterflies. And it's just about accepting change in your life. And yeah, okay, things change, but it's not always for the worse. Sometimes it's for the better. You know, like a butterfly starts off as like a bit of an icky, horrible looking caterpillar, because I've never liked caterpillars, but then they turn into these beautiful butterflies and spread their wings and fly. So I just really like the meaning of butterflies as well, and that's why I've got one on my thigh. And that's it. I think that's all my tattoos. Need more tea now, my throat's going dry. So yeah, that's it. I'm sure that's all my tattoos. Let me think. 2 feet, 2 ankles. Yeah, that's all of my tattoos. I hope you enjoyed this video and my explanations. According to my camera, this has took me 24 minutes to record. So it might have been a long video. If it is, thank you for watching and sticking through it. Hope you found it interesting. I know when I watch other people's videos about their tattoos and meanings, I'm always fascinated. I watch loads of videos like that. So yeah, hopefully you didn't get bored and you enjoyed the meanings of my tattoos as well as what my tattoos are. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you very much for the request, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.